Good morning, this is Angela with Parkrest Permaculture. It's a chilly morning in Portland, Oregon. I wanted to talk today briefly about using plants or animals in our permaculture design without truly understanding what we're getting into. That it's so important in permaculture that we educate ourselves and that we understand all the intricacies, all the ins and outs of plants and animals and fungi before we unleash them into our landscape. That we need to make sure we are thinking about all the potentialities and we are really understanding the nature of the creature that we are putting into the landscape. That we know what the consequences may be of putting that organism out into our property. Because I think sometimes folks want to hear about the good things. They want to hear about the benefits. They want to hear about the beautiful green food forest dream. And they don't really want to think about what can happen when you put something in that you don't truly understand and don't have a healthy respect for. Good permaculture design means that we go in with our eyes open and we go in equipped with knowledge and understanding. I think that in permaculture, it's really important that we understand that design makes a really big difference. Having well-crafted, well-designed systems sets us up for success. We front-load that work by making sure that we are planning carefully. And when we don't plan carefully and we just kind of chuck things into the environment, we can end up with some unintended consequences that result in more labor, more effort, and more frustration later on. So one of the things that I think we've been sold a bill of goods about is running bamboo. And I see it a lot in garden groups. I see plant nurseries selling it everywhere, saying that if you need a quick privacy screen, if you need a quick fence, if you need something to grow tall rapidly and provide a windbreak, something like that, throw in some running bamboo. It's a miracle plant. It's fantastic. Now, I've said in earlier videos when we bought our house, there was a patch of running bamboo along the fence line. I don't know if previous owners of our house planted it or if my next door neighbor did, but it had spread into my yard and the neighbors, and they graciously let me remove it from their half. It took us 3 years to remove all of it. It was unbelievably burdensome. We broke many shovels. My husband had bamboo go up through his shoe into his foot and injure his foot. I hurt my shoulder. It just was a awful thing to remove because bamboo makes these very thick, 18 inches thick, sometimes mat of rhizomes that are just brutal to remove. So it was a years-long project to remove this area of bamboo along our fence line. With any plant that you are unleashing onto the landscape, you have to understand its growth habit. You have to understand that when folks say quick growing, that often means aggressive. When they say it's a privacy screen that will pop up really quickly, they mean it is aggressive and potentially invasive. There is no such thing as a free lunch in permaculture. The ways that our elements that we put into our landscape can be a benefit, they also can be a real detriment, and we need to understand the balance and not use something in the landscape if we don't know how to make sure that it integrates into our design instead of taking over our design. If something becomes invasive, if something becomes burdensome, it's not working in our design. It's not good permaculture. So obviously I can't show you the bamboo in my backyard because it's been gone for years and years and years. Thank God. But there is a patch in my neighborhood, and every day when I'm out on my walk or on a run, I notice it. And I especially notice some of its behavior, some of its tendencies, and how this exemplifies the topic that I'm talking about here. How bamboo can get really out of control. Running bamboos are put in with good intention. I want a privacy screen. I want something along my fence line. Maybe I even want stakes for my garden because they make these nice straight poles. I've listened to what the person at the garden center or in my Facebook group is telling me. Hey, throw in that bamboo. It'll work great for you. It'll work quick. And then I don't really understand the nature of the plant, the habit of the plant, the tendencies of the plant, and it gets out of control very quickly. So let me show you, and then I'll come back at the end. So this is a corner lot on my street, and the folks who live here seem like lovely people. They seem like they're really into gardening, but I can't help but notice the first thing you run into is this overwhelming length of running Phyllostachys bamboo. Phylostachys is a genus of running bamboo that typically produces kind of spindly canes that aren't even that useful. It has an aggressive, fast-spreading nature. It shoots up vertically but also sends rhizomes out horizontally 20 plus feet from the mother colony. It's very, very aggressive and very difficult to remove. I'm always very frustrated when I see big box stores and gardening centers selling this kind of bamboo. Folks buy it and they do not know what kind of aggressive beast they are purchasing. Here you can see just how far from the center of the colony the rhizomes can spread and send up new foliage. This little new sprout is at least 20 feet from the mother and right next to the edge of the road. Please never plant running bamboo without a certified bamboo barrier and without doing due diligence to research what you are unleashing on the landscape. It impacts not only you, but also your neighbors and also future owners of your property. Running bamboo is not to be taken lightly and is only to be used under specific sets of situations with good design and diligent control. Running bamboos are not only fantastic at spreading, they also form a dense mat of rhizomes that will smother all other plant life around them, forming a monoculture. It is a really difficult situation for a permaculturist who wants to have a diverse and lush landscape that produces well. So thanks for watching today. I hope you will please consider not putting running bamboo anywhere on your property. Again, just to reinforce, if you do need to use running bamboo, if it is part of a carefully honed permaculture design, use a certified bamboo barrier and check your bamboo multiple times a year to make sure it is not escaping that barrier. Don't use bricks, don't use concrete, use a certified bamboo barrier. The thicker, the better. The bigger, the better. Know the beast that you are unleashing into your garden or potentially into your community, and know that it's going to take diligence, it's going to take maintenance, it's going to take control. And think about that is whether that is something that you want to undertake before you put bamboo into your landscape. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out my Patreon down in the description. I will be back soon. Hopefully the weather will warm up a little bit and I will show you about some of my upcoming projects that I have been working on. Thanks.